We're live. Are we laggy already?
To me, it still says starting soon.
Oh yeah, but it probably takes like a couple of seconds to start. Let's see.
All right.
That should be good.
I'll let you know when they can see our feed.
Yeah, it should be
Okay,
fine. I'm
whatever.
gonna say hi
We're
now
basically live.
because we're basically live. Hey everyone, how's it going?
What? I'm not there.
You're there. Oh, now you're there. I changed that already because we're really laggy. Like it's like 30 seconds. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Halloween special of the Wano Report. We think it's episode 43, but we're not completely sure. Also, this entire constellation here, I'm not exactly sure if it's 43 probably. I'm not sure if this is all gonna work out. Like I have like 2 programs running in the background with different video input, so I hope that all works. Let me know if audio's okay. With me, I got, of course, Mr. Morj, my co-host. You gotta say something so I know, like, if people can hear you.
Oh, true. Welcome to the Wano Report, episode number 43. This is the Halloween special. This is going to be the spookiest episode we've ever had.
It's pretty spooky. So, it's going to be pretty spooky.
Be prepared.
And then also with us today we got Pitch from Pitch Art. She's gonna be drawing another emote for the channel and gonna be hanging out with us. So make sure to say hi to her. How's it going?
Hi.
How you doing on this nice evening on Halloween night or Halloween afternoon, I guess?
No much. I'm here.
You're here. It's true. Yeah, doing good.
Some people are commenting, this isn't panel for panel, which I actually completely forgot. That's the name of that channel, to be honest. It's been so long since we posted there.
It has been pretty long, but this video is gonna go up on panel for panel as a Wano Report. So there, but now you're living. Yeah, what's up?
Meng Her just asked a very good question, a very common question. I think we should address this, get this out of the way real quick. Are you and Library of Ohara the same person? Yes. Please stop asking that question. Yes, they're the same person.
Also, like
different Twitter accounts.
Yeah. Ohara, Library of Ohara, and Mr. Morj are 3 times the same person, actually.
Oh, I hate when we're confused for the same person. That actually makes me upset.
I love that. Because we sound very similar and we also look very similar. So it's only understandable.
Yeah.
It's like
we're both German, right?
Brother from another mother, basically. More to me. Yeah, no. What did I want to say? I completely forgot. We were talking. Oh yeah, like Library of Ohara. Yeah, no, like that's not me. We were actually having a pretty long argument on Twitter the other day, so that would have been with myself on Twitter.
It's just to rack up new followers from the drama.
Yeah,
for both of your accounts.
I see someone asking, are there going to be spoilers for 994? Probably, right? Or not? Are we going to talk about the chapter?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
Dude, we haven't talked about One Piece in, like, a long time.
So we're going to talk about a lot of One Piece stuff, but it's probably going to come up. So in case you haven't read it yet, I suggest you come back to the podcast when it's uploaded on the other channel. But very good question. Thanks for clarifying before someone complains. That's actually a good point. Also, I think you're gonna stay anti-alcoholic, right, Pitch? But Morj, yeah, you're not gonna drink, right?
No, I don't drink.
But Morj and me have decided to make this a Halloween party. So cheers, man. Here,
yeah.
You get that.
Cheers.
I'm the one who has to stay neutral here.
You have to make sure the stream goes on. You have to take over in case anything happens. By the way, this is how you pour a beer correctly, in case you wondered.
I can't see on stream.
Oh shit, you'll have to wait. Are you watching the stream? You should probably watch in Hangouts.
Oh no, yeah, you know what? I'm watching the watching
stream?
The actual stream just because it's so much more entertaining. I see chat and everything like that.
Okay, it's good because
okay,
like
I'll try and focus on the actual Hangouts.
Yeah, whatever works.
Oh, now I see it.
Oh, I did see you pour I'm sorry, I see you pour the stream.
Thank you.
Sorry, pour the drink. I'm seeing it on stream now.
I saw you pour it on the table.
Oh, this is really good, actually. Okay. I see Pitch has already started on the drawing, and I guess we have a lot of catching up to do One Piece wise. So, when did we do the last Wano Report? How many chapters ago? 4? 3?
4?
There haven't been a
feel
lot
like
of
it was, like,
chapters, to be
10.
fair. There haven't been too many chapters.
I feel
though,
like
have
it's
there?
literally been 10. Yeah, well, I guess Oda takes so many breaks that it can't have been that many,
Okay.
but...
Let's
Well-
start easy then. And unconventional question, but like since this is the Halloween edition, who do you think is best Wano girl at the moment, Morj?
Oh, best Wano girl. Best Wano girl. See, my instinctive answer is Yamato, because of how we ended last chapter.
It is a very good answer.
But you know, Wano's longer than just the last 15 chapters she's been around.
That is true.
So if I look at the whole thing, right? Let's look at the whole thing. We've got... No, it's clearly Yamato. It's clearly Yamato.
Yeah,
That's a
actually.
trick question.
It has to be Yamato.
Yeah.
I think that's
Oh, maybe Ulti. Ulti. I'd throw Ulti in there. But I
Fair enough.
think it's Yamato.
She is cool, but yeah, it's definitely Yamato. What is it for you, Pitch? What do you say?
Yamato.
Yamato. That's good.
I also like Kiku. Kiku. I can't pronounce
True.
anything today.
Kiko's pretty cool.
Don't make
Yeah.
many questions.
Speaking of Kiku, that's maybe a good entrance point. Like in general, like the last couple of chapters, I know we've talked like a bit. Like we've actually talked a bunch between since the last Wano Report, but we never managed to actually make a podcast. So we've talked about a lot of stuff, but we haven't talked about too much about One Piece itself yet. So like, how did you feel about the last couple of chapters and Wano's going?
So, what was the last thing we talked about One Piece was? Can you remember it all?
I think it was
The last thing was when they fell down from the roof.
Okay.
The one that
Okay.
fell down from the roof. Okay, so everything since then. Shoot, that's been a lot, right? Like, it feels like it's been a lot, but
It has
also, like,
been a
not a lot, because... Okay, wait,
Well, it's
can you go
been-
first? How about you go first?
That's cheating.
I'm gonna use your answer as a refresher.
That sounds good.
Sorry.
Sounds good. So yeah, I mean, like in general, I think like in story time, not too much time has really passed, because I think like the last maybe 8 chapters or so, I think have probably been like 4 to 5 minutes at max. I think it's all been like since the Scabbards ambushed Kaido. I think like since then, not a lot of time has passed. I would say. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I don't think a lot of time has passed, but they could be doing a thing. I mean, this is skipping ahead a little bit, where like they just throw in that hour-long time limit, right, on that Apoo stuff.
Right. Oh
So
yeah.
I wonder if they're. It's weird. I'm not sure if like Oda's trying to say that like things are gonna, like Luffy's gonna get to the top of Onigashima within an hour or something like that, or if it's gonna be much longer. Like I don't really know how Oda's trying to portray things as far as time is going.
That's
Like
true.
is an hour based. What I'm saying is like is an hour gonna go by like
Fast. Yeah.
like 5 chapters later it's been an hour, or is this gonna be like God knows God knows how long.
Right, makes sense. Yeah, good point. Like I personally had the feeling that like Oda was trying to portray that a lot of this stuff is happening at the same time. I think there were like 2 chapters in particular that we haven't talked about, like the one with Drake. Like it was like basically Luffy is about to punch the number at the beginning of the chapter. Then a whole bunch of stuff happens with Drake, and then Drake, like basically the chapter ends where Luffy punches him, Drake basically cuts the other one. So I felt like Oda wanted to make clear that like all this stuff is roughly happening at the same time, and if necessary, I'm gonna go a bit back in time and then like end up at the same spot again. That's like the way I took that in those 2 chapters.
And I really love that chapter. That was really creative because I mean Oda does lots of creative stuff, obviously, but like I don't think I've seen him. There's certain things I don't see him mess around with as much, I guess. And that chapter was pretty cool. It was having a cutaway flashback within that chapter to then connect everything. I don't know. I just thought that was a creative little way to do that I don't normally see from him.
No, I agree.
But
yeah.
What have you liked the most out of the last few chapters? Like, what's your favorite development? What was your favorite moment?
That's a really good question. My favorite moment was probably.
I think it's harder, by the way. Yeah, go ahead. No, I'm gonna say real quick. I think it's harder when we've got many chapters to talk about. It's so much easier when there's just like 1 or 2, because now it's just like I like this chapter. I'm pretty sure I like last chapter, but anyway, go
That's
ahead.
a good point. Sorry. Yeah, no, you're right, but like we can work through this. Also, I think I saw someone became a member, so I'm gonna say thank you, but I can't see it in the chat for some reason, so I'm not sure who that was. I'm very sorry. Please let me know. Yeah, so basically my favorite moment actually, like I think last chapter was for the first time, like I felt like for me personally, like in the last 10 chapters or so, I thought every chapter was a little bit better than the last one, and it's been really building for me. And I would say this chapter was now the first one where like I wasn't disappointed, but I would say like the tension like dropped a little compared to the last one. So like I didn't feel that climb anymore with this one. But that being said, I still like my favorite moment of the last couple of chapters is still from this chapter, because I really like, for some reason, maybe it's because it's like recency effect or something, but like I really enjoyed that the way Kinemon has developed as a character in the last couple of chapters.
Yeah.
Because he did get that, goofy, like, oh yeah, you're such a mastermind for coming up with that plan and shit, and like he got like this meme image a bit, which I liked, which I thought was funny. But then like in the last couple of chapters, he's like basically been portrayed as the person we expected him to be, maybe a bit earlier in Wano, the leader of the Scabbards and like this really great samurai. And then like just the way, I know you weren't a big fan, I think you said, of Kinemon being able to dodge Kaido's laser beam.
I changed my mind on that.
Okay.
I changed my mind on that.
So I did like that. And then the second thing I really liked in this chapter was that Oda, like, the way that he actually, in a smart way, used his fire powers. Like, it's such a minute detail, but I liked, like, it always felt like this thing, like, oh, like, Brook has eyes on his sword, and then, like, Kinemon has fire on the sword, and, like, it's cool, because, like, it's a burning sword and shit, and so, like, he has fire powers. But, like, actually saying, oh, I have fire power, so I can actually burn out a wound and like stop the bleeding by closing the arteries. I just thought it was like such a detailed and creative way of using that power. Like it kind of took me by surprise, and so I guess like that's why I would say like this was actually one of my favorite moments. Like also as the cherry on top, like for Kinemon's character arc recently.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the fire moment. The fire moment was, it's really minor, but it was just a smarter way. Like sometimes you don't see characters use. I like it when characters use their powers in a way that like makes sense, but you wouldn't have thought of it intuitively.
Right.
Like I didn't think off the top of my head, oh, Kinemon could burn the wound shut, but then we saw that happen. So that was cool. And you're definitely right about Kinemon in general. I've gotten more attached to Kinemon in the last 12 chapters than I felt for the previous like 300 chapters that he was in the story, So I definitely still think that Kinemon's gonna die, but I'm happy that
big death flag, huh?
I'm happy that it's gonna make for a good moment.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna make for a good moment because I've gotten more attached to him recently.
Yeah. You're definitely right. I feel like the more cool stuff he gets, the bigger the death flag he carries.
Yeah. Dude, and I'll say real quick, Law. I thought that Law was going to die soon. Right? Like I thought he was gonna die in the raid on Onigashima, but Law hasn't been anywhere. So I have a hard time imagining like Law,
dying soon.
Oda suddenly dropping Law in to just die out of nowhere. That would be really weird. So I feel like maybe Law doesn't die right now. Maybe it takes a while, or I don't even know. What do you think about that?
Good point. In general, like I feel Law and Kid, both of them are like kind of out of the picture right now, and so I wonder, like it's like. Is Oda just like baiting us where it's like, oh, I'm actually like, like Law is doing something where he will like suddenly like save the moment and then maybe, take damage or like die actually by doing that? Or is it just going to be one of those things where it's like, where is Law? He's gone for 8 chapters and then he's just like, oh yeah, I snuck through the back and like now I'm here or something. So I feel like a big argument for Law making it out of Wano for me is just that people like him so much, and I feel like that he would be a intelligent addition for Luffy's further journey, especially when it comes towards fighting the world government, actually. On the other hand, what speaks for Law dying is that his character arc is really pretty much done at this point. Like, I guess he came along with Luffy, like, please let me know if you think I'm wrong, but like, I personally took it that he actually came with Luffy to actually take down Kaido Morris out of gratitude for like taking down Doflamingo, because that was like his real goal in the end, as we found out. Less than him actually, wanting to become Pirate King and take down a Yonko. So I wonder if, like, I think it would be different, for example, with Kid, and like if Law also had that I still want to become Pirate King mentality, then it would actually be interesting, because then he might, like go there his own way and then like maybe rival with Luffy and Kid, and then in the end, might become an ally again after Luffy becomes Pirate King or something. But yeah, how do you see that?
Same. I just don't put almost anything into the fact that Law's, a popular character. Because, Ace was a popular character, and then...
Was he?
Ace was a ridiculously popular... Ace actually still lands... Ace is dead.
That's true.
Has been dead for like a decade.
Wait, what?
Ace still lands in like the top 10 of popularity polls regularly for all of One Piece Japan or whatever. So I don't know. Ace was a wildly popular character. So it was really bold of Oda to kill off that character. But besides that, with Law, I could see the argument Law or something like that, because Law just became too big, and maybe merchandise or something like that. But I hope that wouldn't influence his decision, because like everything you said is correct. It just makes too much sense for Law's character arc to be over. I agree with Wado plan. Law doesn't even want to be Pirate King, as far as we know. He's never really expressed that.
Yeah, he's never really, like, in general, do you feel, because I feel like this is something that's always assumed in a way, but do you feel like all of the supernova at some point, like, were, like, do you feel like what unites the supernova is that all of them are striving for Pirate King? Because, like, there's a bunch of people in there who, like, probably not. For example, like you said, Law, we don't know, and then, like, Bonnie, it rather seems like she's in there for another reason. So, yeah, what do you think?
I think Drake at this point. Drake at this point, like, he's a Marine. True. So I would like to think that he's probably not. I don't know Drake's whole thing. Right? Maybe Drake isn't even.
He's a triple agent.
Yeah,
quadruple agent.
Double. Yeah. Drake's just confused, but he just doesn't know what he's up to. So I would say, who can we confirm? Luffy wants to be Pirate King, confirmed.
Kid.
We're having lag.
Blackbeard.
We're having lag? Oh, really?
The stream completely froze, yes.
Oh, that's
Oh,
not good.
no.
Why?
And it's still going. It's freezing completely.
Oh, no, that's not
Someone
good.
said Ace dies, question mark? That's okay, I'll hop in chat.
Shit.
If.
Good idea. How about, like, the internet? It doesn't seem to be an internet thing, because I can definitely hear you.
And I can hear you as well, but...
Weird.
Yeah, like, our connection is totally fine.
It's the YouTube.
Okay, we'll just tell them that it's YouTube's fault.
Yeah. Huh.
We're slow motion right now. Oh my goodness. I guess they can't hear a single thing.
Is it still that bad?
Yes, it's going on for over a minute now.
Of course it is. This would have been too nice.
Someone says, why don't they know? Oh, man.
Why don't they know what?
That it's lagging.
And look at your Streamlabs. Look if it's saturated. If it's too much.
Maybe. Let me try to maybe not show. What can I? Maybe not show Morj. Is it better?
No, it froze completely.
Oh my god.
If you don't show me, I could smoke too. That would be a win-win.
Damn, YouTube can take all the Halloween boosted traffic.
You should do that.
It seems YouTube is.
That went so bad last time.
I think it might actually be YouTube's fault for too many streams there, huh?
Yes, it is saying it might be. I told you today was the worst day.
But that's why today's the best day, because it's just. It's factually the worst.
At least
day,
we're having a good time.
Yeah, they don't know that.
Will we ever have one single stream that works?
People are saying the audio is fine mainly. It's mostly the visuals.
So can they hear us?
Yeah, they can hear us. So
no.
you shouldn't have talked about smoking.
Oh no.
We can though if you want.
I'm gonna off-screen the whole stream. Getting lag.
It's like a minute behind. Well, I can't do anything. Like, it's definitely not my fault this time.
I'm gonna see if I. Nope. still frozen. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it has to be YouTube. Like today is the worst day for this. Like, oof.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. I mean, I don't know. I can try turning off more stuff, but I'm not sure if that
I
will help.
this time we can hear each other perfectly. It's not lagging for us, so I think it has to be YouTube. If there's
Hmm.
nothing telling you on Streamlabs that it's too full and lagging,
Hmm.
nothing in red, no notice, nothing.
No?
In that case, it has to be YouTube.
So weird.
Dang it!
It's really choppy, huh?
Very choppy.
What about Twitch? Ohara, have you streamed on Twitch at all?
Can
People are
try.
suggesting Twitch.
Can try that.
Oh wow, there's like a lot of lag. So now people are picking up on the smoking comment. So it's
Oh,
just
okay. Wow,
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah, but even stream.
Should I end the stream and restart it? Maybe?
maybe.
Well,
No?
Has that worked for you before?
Well, I didn't have this problem, so
Okay.
we had all the other type of problems.
now it's actually not me for a change, but I'm gonna wait until we're like at the point where I turned off the screens and maybe it goes better by then, but it would have been too nice if there had not been any lag.
Yeah.
I guess that
Things
was
are never easy.
too much to ask for. Oh man, it's still like this is really far behind. I like how it's getting more viewers, even though the stream's getting. People definitely don't know what's happening, but at least the sound is
fine now.
Okay, so
It's
now
not
it turned.
working.
Okay, so now the thing turned off. Wow, that was late.
One of the pumpkins is Orochi.
Nice.
People entertaining themselves with the layout.
Huh.
Oh, we should talk about Orochi.
It didn't really get better though, did it?
I'm just an offhand comment for when the actual stuff comes back.
Yeah, as soon as we know that people can hear.
No.
So-
How is it? Someone's saying it's Morj's fault. He's notorious for that. It is not my internet connection this time. It is not my internet connection. I can't do anything. This is run through our stream.
The stream will end in failure. Nice. But I'm lagging as well, right? It doesn't really make a difference, does it?
No, well, like we are all lagging. Like the whole layout is lagging, but yeah. I'm telling you, this is YouTube's fault. This type of lagging is the.
Yeah. That's better when it's not our fault, but also worse.
Hey, it's working now.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm moving again. Let's see if it stops moving again once you guys are. Because now I turned you guys back on, so it might have stopped working again. This is so weird.
We're too heavy for this stream.
Too many heavyweights in this stream, yeah. YouTube can't handle it. Take that, Mr. Beast. Okay, well now that
what if we're ruining somebody else's stream?
Hopefully. I hope we're ruining someone's stream. Okay, wait. I think
giant YouTubers.
Yeah. Now that we're maybe back, I'm gonna read a donation that we got that I think we missed. John Albano is asking thoughts on everyone versus Apoo. Personally,
How long ago?
Long ago, very long ago, but better now than never, I guess. Personally, I think it will be Zoro's moment of leading the samurai that he mentioned. Love the Halloween stream so far. Thanks a lot. What's your thought, Morj, on everyone versus Apoo? Let's pretend nothing happened.
Dude, everyone versus Apoo. Yeah, it's just
The real question is, did you smoke something while you were turned off? That's the real.
I did not. For the chat, I did not. Wait, is my camera on right now?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay. I did not.
Then I did not.
I did not.
Then I certainly did not.
So, I was really thrown for a loop with the whole Apoo stuff because, I don't know, I just thought that things were getting more serious at the end of the last chapter, but then the Apoo stuff happened, and the Apoo that's more of a. I mean, it was more of a comedy bit.
Oh, but I like
with
it.
what Queen did. Yeah, it was cool.
More than comedy, I also like it because it's completely unexpected.
Yeah, I did not expect.
Yeah, it gives a chance to see also how Apoo thinks, which I've been waiting for. What he does in such a situation. I loved it because of Queen. We see more of
Queen's
his
so
personality
cool. Yeah,
in
he's
it.
so cool.
Yeah, like I like that. It's not just a fight. It's like more. It's deeper than that. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Queen is like I said in my chapter review. This was one of the better Queen moments because Queen's the most fun henchman that I think
Yeah.
the villain in One Piece has had in a long while. And I'm not comparing to like Katakuri or something like that. Like I'm saying fun as in the entertainment value or the sort of wild card aspect that Queen brings. Queen's just fun. Queen's entertaining. I did not expect Queen to do any of this. I did not expect the Apoo death chase or anything like that.
Bro,
my
he
honest
got
answer,
badly thrown under the bus though.
I know he was
like hardcore. That was really bad.
Yeah.
Why do all my favorite characters like end up like this somehow?
All right. Yeah.
One of your favorites.
Yeah, I think it's one
Wapu's gonna get a lot of screen time off of this.
Yes, it is one of my top 5. I'd say
I don't know. I don't know if Apu's getting. It just feels weird to me. Like I can't imagine like Zoro versus Apoo being like a real main fight in Onigashima right now. So I honestly don't have a good prediction.
Like
either of you.
It's hard because how do you explain? Even if you were to just change sides right now because they screwed you up and you're like, okay, I'm giving this to someone because I'm not playing this, you can't even say so without getting beheaded before you even say a word.
Wait, actually, hold on, wait. I wonder if this is.
Wait. Someone in the comments is saying, "Why stop Chainsaw Review, Ohara?" That's not me.
What? No, we're different people. That's the Library of Ohara. I'm Mr. Morj.
I'm literally as white as it gets. Like. We're really not the same people, I promise.
We're not the same. Not even the same skin color, not the same...
same intellect, though, for sure.
Same intellect, mine's lower. It's just, you can... So many ways we can differentiate. But the main thing... What was I saying before this? Oh, yeah, Apoo can... I wonder if Apu's going to switch sides off of this.
I actually think this is the best situation for him to actually do a switch. If he doesn't do it here, I only see him defeated. Because this moment is where he just got screwed up, like, at all, and he doesn't have a chance anywhere. If he drops it, head off. If he gets caught, head off. If anyone takes it, head off. Yeah. What do you do but run?
It's true. Like I'm just curious why Queen did it because I don't know. It feels like he almost expected Apoo to betray. Like I feel like. Do you guys think that it's that Queen thinks like he distrusts Apoo, or do you just think it's just like Queen is just like that sounds like a fun thing to do, so I'm just gonna do it. Fuck it.
Oh, I think he doesn't first care for Apoo much. But he also knows that he's like very fast and agile because he's a long arm, and it's like he doesn't expect him to actually survive this, but he knows he can hold on long enough for it to be fun.
I think, yeah. I mean, we're just gonna find out over the course. Like this is a lame answer, but I don't know. I think we're just gonna find out over the course of the next. Yeah, because it's just hard to predict that because this was such a twist out of left field, right? So either like next chapter we learn something that like Queen knows something we don't. Same way with X Drake, and that's why Queen did it. Or we just kind of learned that like this is just who Queen is, and Queen likes a little bit of chaos or just screwing people over.
He does seem like the type, for sure.
Queen does, but then also, I mean, we had the X Drake stuff, so I don't know. It could go either way.
I
just hope Apoo lasts long enough because
Apoo's not dying. I think you're fine on that.
Oh, it's not only dying. Like I want to see enough to see more about him. We haven't seen really even his intentions, his way of thinking. We haven't seen much, and I would love to see him react to this scene and what he is gonna do in such a difficult situation before anyone just comes in and grabs it and he's out. No. I hope he lasts a bit longer than that.
I think he's got an hour. However long it is in chapter.
At least an hour. Yeah.
I think he's got an hour.
With
I will
Zoro,
say that
with Zoro after him, maybe 1 minute too.
maybe a little shorter than that. But like in Dressrosa, right? Like Luffy was fighting Doflamingo for 20 minutes, something like that. This was like a big deal because people got really upset over the power issue. So like Luffy was fighting Doflamingo for 20 minutes, and that happened in like half a chapter off screen. So Oda can mess with the time however he wants and be like, yeah, this is.
Oh yeah.
And then later on,
the
10 minutes it took for Luffy to recover his haki, that took 5 chapters. So Oda can do whatever he wants.
It is very jumpy. I guess a good question like that I want to ask you, and I think is like probably the most requested question in the chat is, do you still think that the festival will end in failure?
Okay, so I like this question.
Cards on the table.
You know what I'm happy about? This has become a meme for my channel. And at first I was really annoyed that it was a meme, but now I'm happy that my channel has a meme.
It is a really fun thing.
Yeah, some people have memes, like King of Lightning has, he said Judge was top 5, and that just became a thing for like God knows how long. So now I have a meme. Yeah, it's still a thing. No one's ever going to forget that.
Yeah.
But with the Fire Festival ending in failure, yeah, I still think it's going to end in failure. It's just not. It hasn't been going exactly at the end. It's going to happen. Just hold on. I believe. At the end of last chapter, when Kaido was like, all right, now I'm going to get serious. And then Kaido cut off Kiku's arm. I was like, okay, this is it. Things are going to turn around from here. We're going to go from bad to worse from here on out. But then the next chapter happened and was like, nah, Kiku's arm is fine. And then the rest of the chapter was like a lot of jokes. So, well, I don't know, dude. I still believe, but I'm not going to be like, oh, it's obvious 100% guaranteed. I think it's really, really hard to predict it.
Yeah, I would agree.
What about you? Yeah, what about both of you?
Yeah, good question. Good question. I would say, I don't know. Like, as you say, I feel like it's been going too well for way too long. I just start to think, depending on how long Onigashima will, like, because I feel like if it ends in failure, shouldn't that happen rather sooner than later so we can actually get to the big battle?
Yeah, dude, once Oda said an hour, I was just like, oh no, I might be wrong, because why is he going to stall this for an hour if he's just going to have
I saw a couple of people saying that this stream is going to end in failure, so it's definitely, the meme is definitely strong.
The stream did end in failure. This is the comeback part of it.
Is it? I personally think it kept going. Close enough.
I'm sorry, it didn't end in failure. This is a great stream.
Yeah, apologize as well. Let's see what else. Like, I feel like there's still so much we have to talk about.
Yeah, it's just hard to.
What's your okay? Do you want to go back to the Zoro thing, Zoro killing Kaido? Like, we talked about that in one of the podcasts, I'm pretty sure. And like since then, I found out that like people are way more serious about this than I actually thought.
Dude, I hate Zoro killing Kaido. Like, not hate it. I hate the people behind it. On Twitter, I get
brave.
I get added.
You're suddenly very quiet, man.
Mentioned. So, like, by the same few people. Wait, can you hear me?
It's a bit quiet for some reason.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me move a little closer. I get mentioned by the same people, like, once every couple weeks or so, basically. Like, these random Twitter accounts that are obsessed with Zoro killing Kaido. Then they always have some new jab at me talking about, like, and Morj still thinks Zoro's not going to kill Kaido or something like that. And then there's, like, a long thread that comes off of that just, like, bashing me about how it's obvious Zoro's going to kill Kaido. I'm like, how do I mute these guys forever? I don't know. I wish I knew how to use Twitter better.
It's true, though. Is Morj quiet for you, too, Pitch?
It's a little bit quieter, but I can
It
still
got quieter
hear
for
it.
some reason. It's really weird.
Let me see. Move everything. The connection is bad. I don't know.
Changed really abruptly. Do you have like a wheel? Like of not the Yeti doesn't have that, does it?
I think it should be better now.
whatever.
Any better?
I think
Yeah,
the
it's a bit
Oda-
better.
Bit better? Let's do some more. Now it should be great.
Oh, now it's wonderful. Beautiful. Beautiful.
You saying that while the microphone appears on screen.
It's just sneaking. It's just sneaking there and from the side. It's just like. Sorry, what we were talking about? Oh, the Zoro thing. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know. I still don't see it happening. Like I still have my same. I have been getting a lot of links to like different like theory videos and like why it's proven that Zoro will take out Kaido. I'm personally still saying like since Luffy is the main character, if he doesn't take out the main villain of like the biggest saga in the story, that's kind of weird. But I'm willing to be proven wrong. I'm just curious how to do that in a story. Sideline the main character. But yeah.
Like with Zoro killing Kaido, so okay, if we really look at it for a moment, right? Like let's just lay it out lay it all out. I think we can all agree that a bunch of stuff has happened that indicates Zoro will do something to Kaido, and it's gonna be something big. My belief is that it's gonna be Zoro's gonna scar Kaido again, the same way that Odin did, just probably maybe even bigger. I don't know, something along those lines. That's what it looks like to me. That Zoro's getting set up to get a big cut in on Kaido, and that's going to be a big moment. So then the next thing, though, is that Zoro killing Kaido, people basically, I think their reasoning is that it's two paths, right? So either they're saying, one, that Luffy is going to end up fighting somebody else, like Big Mom or something like that, and then Kaido is Zoro's main fight, and Zoro's just going to go all the way, cut Kaido, kill Kaido, take care of him from start to finish.
Would
right?
you be fine with
Then
that
the
though?
other thing, no, I would. I'll complain about that in a second. I think that's terrible. The other way that this is the more popular one that I hear more often. People talk about Luffy, Kid, some other people taking down Kaido. Luffy gets most of the damage in, and then Zoro comes in at the end and kills Kaido. That's even weirder to me, though. Like I just don't understand that because it's like
that is like by far, and I don't get. It's like, oh yeah, Zoro gets the kill. I'm like, well, if the guy is literally lying on the floor,
It's like in video games.
and then
yeah, exactly. Like stealing a kill in a video game or something.
yeah, and then people will be like, well, yeah, oh my god, it's like,
Why do they still
but
want
Kaido
it? I don't
wants to die. So,
Kaido also wants to die. I don't think he's dying. So, to me, last chapter, by the way, that stuff that he said last chapter, hopefully we get a better translation tomorrow. That stuff he said last chapter, though, to me, that seems like he's not going to die. He's talking about how,
yeah,
you know,
he wants to die. He wants to die a great death. That's literally.
Exactly. He's saying like, man, it's perfection through death. It's like, so then Kaido's not going to die, right?
I think the translation is not really perfection. It's more completion.
Oh, completion.
It was like kansei, I think. So that's completion. Something like fulfill. Like people's lives are fulfilled by death, basically, or like death is people's lives fulfillment. So
then I think the same argument still stands. So I don't think it makes sense.
Yeah. And like I personally don't see Kaido dying at the end of this arc, except if we get like a Whitebeard moment with Blackbeard coming, and like something like that. Like something external where it's like literally like someone really snitching the basically the kill.
I could see that because that's like that would be a really bad way to go out if like Kaido's killed like while he's in prison or something, or like in a back alley or something. Like obviously not a back alley. You know what I mean? Like a more like a less glamorous way. So I could see that happening.
Rob Velk is asking, "Yo, Morj, what did you want to say about Orochi?" Sorry for that. That super chat was probably like 5 minutes old.
Orochi, I didn't want to say anything specific. I just thought we should talk about it because it's like that's a big missing piece at the moment, right?
Big missing head.
Yeah, big missing.
It is.
Yeah, it is. So, is he dead or not? What do you guys think?
I don't want him to be dead. Mostly because I want to see what that fruit does. More than just grow heads.
I don't know, like, for me, I'm kind of torn because on the one hand, I feel like you could still do interesting stuff with this character. On the other hand, I like the unexpectedness of that scene, me personally, so I don't know. I would be fine if he were dead. I think that would be a cool move. Like, it would be probably more like Oda to have him come back at some point.
It would be more like Oda.
Yeah, I mean, like I feel like it's probably, if I had to bet money, I would say he's probably gonna come back alive just because like of his fruit and like the way he's been set up as like this big evil guy who's like responsible for all the suffering in Wano. But I would like it actually if like Kaido was the one who was like, shut up, dude, like nobody wants to put up with your like shit anymore, and that's just the end of it. I don't know. I'd like that.
I'm good with it the way it was. I would have liked to have seen more from Orochi, but like it's not. It made for such a good moment that like who cares if he's not really coming back.
Yeah, exactly. But like he might. I feel like I'm definitely more in favor of Kanjuro coming back alive because I feel like there is like a bigger redemption arc that I still want to see, and I think that we're gonna get.
Okay, if we got to choose between both of them and only one can be revived, I choose Kanjuro. It's not like he's my top 5 or anything.
I would choose Orochi just because if Oda brings Orochi back to life, then I think that's more like that means Oda has like a bigger plan. If that makes sense. Like there's no reason to bring Orochi back to life if he's just gonna be like the cowardly weak shogun again, because like Kaido doesn't want to work with him anymore.
Right.
So if Oda's bringing Orochi back to life, that means that there's something bigger that Orochi's going to bring to the table. That's about it. But I like Kanjuro better as a character, and I think he's more interesting, like on screen and everything.
Right. Makes sense. Morch, you got another super chat that actually I'm getting.
Oh, is it what?
But you completed.
Read the Kinemon death message?
Yeah. I think it's below the super chat.
Oh, okay. Morj, it's impossible for Kinemon to die. He has the Fukunomi, funny name, the final devil fruit to fill.
Wait, why is it funny?
Depends how you pronounce it. So, I'm glad that Josser brought this up. Is Josser? He's a big Twitter person, right? He's got a big Twitter account. Let me see. Let me double confirm.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Because I'm pretty sure I saw this before. So what he's talking about, I don't know if you guys know, he's talking about the number pattern for the devil fruits, which is...
oh, right. With the numbers. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
He brought up that thing, right? With the close pattern. Like, Kinemon's fruit fits that. So I saw that. When I saw that, to me, that confirmed that Kinemon is going to die and someone's going to eat his fruit. That's all it confirmed to me. Like, I think that, and it's very possibly Momonosuke. Momonosuke has a fruit at the moment, but it's an artificial devil fruit, so I don't know if it works the same way. Like, maybe he can still eat a normal devil fruit, you know what I mean? So I think it'd be really fitting if Momonosuke, if Kinemon dies, Kinemon was Momo's father figure, Kinemon dies, passes that fruit down, Momonosuke gets his hands on it. It just, I don't know, that to me, a little bit. I know, Ohara, you don't like the idea of Momo joining the crew, but I feel like it's very possible. So that's how I work that into
Can you explain to me again how Fuku fits into the pattern? Because isn't it a number pattern?
Yeah, so it's something like...
Because Hito is 1, that's like
110?
chopper.
Is it 110? 1 Hito?
Yeah. Is it?
Because the argument is that it's always like 2, so it's like Hana is like 8.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. Hachina, okay, Hachina.
Yeah, so
but Fuku?
You would be able to tell better than me. I don't actually know.
What is Fu supposed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cute. There's no Fu though in the numbers in case like I'm completely beside like standing.
Then what's he talking about?
I think I did read there. I think there was a message in SBSS though. I think the devil fruit that would actually fit the pattern is I think Bartolomeo's fruit. So like his fruit would have fit the pattern really nicely. But like I might be overlooking something here. But like there's no fu in the Japanese numbers unless I'm like completely missing something right now.
Then none of that matters. All of that pretty much.
There's Q, which I guess could be ku, but like, wasn't it like I think like Bartolomeo's fruit in Japanese is something like Nikyu or something, and that would be like 2929 or something. So I'm not sure.
I don't know. I just saw that Twitter thread basically explaining that Fuku fits 29. You could ask. You could
maybe
ask
maybe it's futatsu, but then I think that's not how the pattern works, as far as I know. I think it is with just the basic number system, not the. But yeah, whatever. Like I mean, I know this theory is out there. I'm personally like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a fan of it. I don't think it's a thing.
Okay. I'll say the only thing is if he's correct about the 2-9 Fuku no Mi, then my guess is that Kinemon dies, fruit goes to Momonosuke. That's all I have to say on it.
Fruit can go to Yamato.
It could go to Yamato. I don't know. Fruit can go to anyone. Kinemon has a big death red flag, so his fruit can easily go to somewhere else.
Let me like I'm actually gonna be honest. Like I also think that Kinemon is gonna die. I personally really would like it if he survived, because I think he is a great character, and I personally think it would be very tragic for him not to reunite with his wife. But like even if he survives, which I hope, I don't want to see him with the Straw Hats, if that makes sense.
You just like I know what you mean. Like you don't want him to die, but
yeah, I want him to like play an important role in Wano, I guess, after, and like live there, whatever.
Hey, rank the Scabbards real quick. Favorite to least favorite. That's just a me question.
Where?
No, that's.
Sorry. I was like, that's a you question in the chat. Okay, like I'm gonna start most favorite. So I'm gonna go Kiku, Kinemon,
Okay.
Shutenmaru. I'm gonna go Inuarashi. Is Izo part of the Scabbards?
Right now, yes, I think, even if it's
okay.
One.
I would go Kawamatsu 5. Then I would go Nekomamushi, Izo. Who else is even left? Oh, Denjiro. Not a big fan of Denjiro for some reason. 8th. Who was the last one? I'm missing someone.
Did you mention
Raizo? Yeah, Raizo, definitely last.
Yeah, you didn't remember him.
Though, to be fair, the Raizo moment was really cool. I still put him last because I still think like that was the first time we ever saw him do anything really. So it was a good moment for him, I guess. But I'm still like most unimpressed about him. But like that thing was really cool. I like the concept. Like it was like real Naruto vibes there. Like like absorbing that with the scrolls and like putting it back. I think it was a cool idea. But yeah,
that was definitely a Naruto.
What was it for you with the Scabbards? I'm curious.
But I actually didn't think about this. No, I didn't.
well.
Kinemon's I think Kinemon's
how the tides have turned.
Kinemon, Ashura Doji. Okay, someone just posted the Scabbards, so I can actually look off it. So Kinemon, Ashura Doji, maybe Nekomamushi, then Denjiro.
You have a dog, Morj. How dare you?
Dude, Inuarachi's boring compared to
Really?
Nekomamushi.
He's a dog, though.
He's got a more dull personality. You remember when we went to Zoe and like Inuarashi, and I was like, I like this guy. But then a little bit later, we met Nekomamushi. I was like, this guy's way cool.
It's true. You're right.
That was my.
I was rather, my rationale was more I'm a dog person, but like.
I'm more of a dog person too.
I would agree though. I would agree. Nekomamushi is cooler.
Then I'd say Kiku, Kawamatsu, Raizo to round it off. Yeah, pretty much it.
Nice. What about you, Pitch? Go for it.
Ooh, I actually get to answer this one?
No, I changed my mind, actually.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Well, Kanjuro is no more, so first one has to go Kinemon. Second Raizo. I know. Nobody likes him. I like
That's okay.
it. It's the design. As an artist, it's like, oh my gosh, what's this? Third one. Oh my gosh, I know this too, but then I don't know if putting Kiku or maybe, yeah, Kiku then Kawamatsu. Ashura Doji, the Nokomamushi. To who else is there?
Put some just throw some Japanese in there.
No, I'm used to doing that.
Dieto.
Yeah, I mix too many languages when I'm talking and starting to think stuff, and I mix all I know.
Bueno.
I forgot the other ones. I think I don't know who's left.
Don't know.
You throw the punch, the rest.
Yeah, sounds good. I can live with that ranking. I think. Who's a cool addition to this because you know he was part of Odin's retainers and stuff.
That's for sure, of course.
And
That's
he's
why
a
I said
character. Yeah, no, for sure. No, I mean, but I know I understand where you're getting from because like yeah, we didn't see much of him and like we knew him from way back from Marineford, but then like he was like really like all of Whitebeard's commanders. I feel like you know if Whitebeard had been an antagonist, his commanders would probably have been like a really big deal. But like this, they were just all like thrown into the war, kind of, and like you know, this like more like minor characters.
Back then, when we got all of the Whitebeard pirates shown, Izo was one of the ones that I liked the design the most
Makes sense.
because of the whole makeup and everything of the character was
Right.
interesting in that contrast. But now that we are in Wano, it's like it doesn't really stand that much.
No, it's true. Yeah. Oh, I see JD in the chat. Greetings.
Hi.
To my man. Big shout out.
Yeah, good development.
Thank you.
See, that's glad you want to recognize the Oh, Ohara, you were getting a question earlier from someone over and over,
Oh,
which was like, Ohara, where's the part 2 of What if Shanks could not stop Kaido? What is he talking about?
What?
I have
He asked
no
this
idea.
like a million times. So that's the only reason I'm bringing it up.
Wait, part 2?
It's like a long string of him asking. Did you ever do a video on this?
No.
What is he talking about?
I have no idea.
All right.
Please clarify in the chat.
I like this one. Do you think Kaido is a real dragon and we will know when Yamato turns into a dragon, something like that? Like do you think which is the fruit? Dragon or actually Oni?
Oni fruit.
I don't know. Oni fruit and he's a real dragon? Or?
I don't know. At this point, I kind of lean towards dragon fruit just because I feel, I don't know, with Yamato, she's a human. I mean, she might be a dragon as well, I guess, but like then she would have to have eaten a human fruit as well.
Not really. Depends on the mother.
I guess. I don't know. I would lean towards dragon fruit, but I think the only thing would be cool.
I think at the end it might be exactly dragon fruit, and he's like an Oni or descent. I would love it to be a descendant of the old. Oh my goodness, I forgot the name of them. The ancient giants.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think, Morj?
I've always liked the idea better of Kaido being a dragon fruit eater. Not like him actually just being a dragon.
Dragon, right.
I don't know why, but yeah, I just prefer the idea that, you know, the leader of the strongest zone crew has the strongest zone. Because I don't know, I think everybody just, you know, the dragon is the most famous mythical creature, right? So I prefer I just like the way it fits, that, you know, Kaido's the leader of the zones. He has the strongest mythical zone. I just think it overcomplicates it for no reason that he has the Oni fruit. Like, it's just like a twist for no real reason, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of it?
I don't know. It depends on the reason, I would say.
I think it is.
Maybe there is a reason, like...
I think he's right on that. Like...
Wait, right on which?
You on that it would be too much. Like, it makes sense that he has the fruit of a dragon because he's the biggest of all the creatures, of all the beasts in his crew. And
like maybe if Oda's trying to introduce the idea that there's like a whole race of dragons out there, that's living in the world right now, then I get it. But like, I feel like that's a lot to introduce for no reason. Like, to me, it's like clear that he's introducing the Oni race at the moment, right? Like the ancient giant race, so
Right.
or the Oni race or whatever. So
I'm curious about those horns.
yeah.
Also, yeah, I'm also wondering, like, because I'm still wondering about Yamato also, like, what it really means for her to be Kaido's daughter. Because, like, in this chapter, I feel it was hinted at that she's, like, she must be pretty damn strong. Like, so, because, like, she basically said, hey, sorry, Momo, I wanted to help you, but I basically couldn't beat my father 20 years ago. And then, like, she kind of gave the impression, like, oh, but, like, now I'm different. So, I mean, I'm not saying that I don't think Yamato is stronger than Kaido, but, like, she must be pretty damn strong. And, like, especially Sasaki, like, his reaction, I feel like, was pretty, I guess, convincing that she's definitely a force to be reckoned with.
I'd love to see Yamato being very tanky for once.
She already is. Wasn't she
Yes,
like
that's
this chapter?
I love it because we always have most of the more feminine characters and such a very glassy canon,
Right.
and I'm loving it that Yamato is taking a hit directly and be standing there. Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yamato's definitely. I mean, there's a reason we all voted her best girl for Wano. So, I mean, like, we saw her versus. I think that was really with her introduction that we saw her versus Luffy first, because that was like a random scrap that Luffy had with her, but we didn't know that Yamato was a girl at that point. So all we saw was that Luffy was legit. Like, I wouldn't say he was like losing, but he was clearly struggling against Yamato, right? He was clearly struggling against Yamato, so we already get the impression that this character is really strong. I think it was important to do that and then reveal that Yamato is a woman.
Yes.
Because that takes away the preconception that, oh, maybe Luffy's not trying or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I like that. I like that, yes. I also like the character already before knowing anything about it as soon as I saw it.
Same.
So, yeah, it was like the whole design and the way of appearing and everything on scene is like, oh, I like this. I don't care if it's a guy, a girl. I don't care. It's cool.
Someone said Vivi is best. Vivi's not in Wano. We were talking about Wano best girl. It's not part of the conversation.
Yes. Too late. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I do understand the people who do like to power scale after every chapter, but like, I'm just so curious what we're gonna get from this out of this fight. Like, I don't know. I want to be excited. Like, I want to be surprised by like what the Straw Hats can really do, what like everyone can really do. Yamato also. I like Pitch, did you kind of forget the teeth?
No.
Oh, there we go.
I'm just
it looks like someone punched Brooke in the face real bad.
We can go like this now.
Perfect.
He's missing teeth.
Like, this would be a good emote for like saying something very rude.
That was such a slow question. Did you forget the teeth?
Yeah.
Oh, may I add one question for you about because of this last chapter? I am so sure that Oda, I think he noticed a lot about the whole Sanji and Zoro deal in the internet, and he decided to just troll everyone. Because this last chapter
with Sanji and Jinbei, you mean?
He's even making sure to make him say, like, why is everyone forgetting me? Why is everyone saying that I'm weak?
I mean, I personally think Oda has been doing that for a long time. I remember, like, with when Sanji was getting his bounty after Whole Cake Island, he, like, literally got, like, 10 million more than Zoro, or, like, 5 million or something ridiculously low.
Yeah, but this time, like, Sanji is the one and like, the way he's saying things and the way he's joking about it and the whole thing, it's almost like Oda is making fun of the whole thing that's going on in the internet about Sanji being weak and all this kind of stuff. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they have that discussion in Japan as well, so.
Yeah, well, I don't like, even if it's but I think he's just trolling everyone a lot and he's enjoying himself with this.
I just hope that.
Oh, sorry.
Well, no,
Go
definitely. Yeah. No, those are definitely self-aware jokes. So.
Yeah, I think so too. And
I'm waiting at the very least until Sanji gets a really
Yes.
really big moment before I can
Yeah,
like
I feel like
forget
he.
about all the
Yeah, I feel like he is just gonna be trolling until Sanji actually has a fight and is very badass. But in the
Yeah.
meantime, I think he feels like trolling everyone.
Probably.
If it was me, I would be doing that totally, just to make people scream in pain.
I'm not sure, like if like that would be interesting to know, like how much Oda does like stuff like this, influenced by his audience, or whether he just does it just because he feels like it. That would be interesting to ask. We have two more super chats. One is by Jesser, recognized by Morj. I'm sleeping like a baby tonight. So apparently he does have a Twitter account that you're familiar with.
He does. It's a big Twitter account.
So nice, thank you. And then we have one more by Josh Frothingham, which sounds very British name. Nice. Do you think the Daimyo of Wano are the D clan? What makes you think that?
Oh no, I think I got a guess because I totally forgot about this. Odin's death. He died. Odin's death panel. It's like him in the soup, but like his smile is visible. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Because he died
Odin
as a
died.
D.
Odin died smiling, basically. So
Okay.
I remember there was a theory going around there.
So Odin is a D.
That was the theory, I guess. I don't know. Maybe. Like at this point, we know so little about the D tribe that when I find out that someone's a D or not a D, like it's cool, but I'm at the point where I kind of just need to find out what it is before I really know what to make of it. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure Odin could have been a D. We'll find out at some point. You know what I mean?
I personally think that the D thing is something different from, like, for example, the Kozuki clan. Like, that's like a real family, like a bloodline. I don't think that the D is necessarily like it. I think you get it by birth now, but I don't think that it started necessarily as a bloodline. It sounds more like, it might have been like a group of people gathered together. Because we've seen, for example, with Saul, like was he a giant? I'm not sure what he exactly was, but like,
A giant.
yeah. So it's like it for me. The way I would guess it works was rather that like the D clan was more like a group of founding people, unrelated, of different races that, like, for some reason, maybe with Joy Boy or whatever, they came together and for some reason, like, basically took that name and then gave it, to their children and so on and so forth. So that's how I see it. I feel like it is something hereditary that didn't start as something hereditary, other than the Kozuki clan, who I think were around already as the Kozuki during the Void Century, probably, as I understand it. How do you see that? What do you think?
Sorry, I'm just thinking.
Oh, sorry, you're still thinking.
Yeah, the race difference is big because that does make it like hard. Because how do you have a giant who's the same exact blood as, especially if we got a fishman who was a D, that would throw everything out.
That would be interesting.
So far, because like giants, I think we can kind of imagine like, and maybe it's still somehow all the same blood, but we got some
Jones.
really in there. Yeah, Horde.
Hordy Jones.
At the end of Fishman Island, Hordy Jones, the most hated villain in all of One Piece. Like, people really trash Hordy Jones. At the end of Fishman Island, he's like my feeling.
I'm still really contemplating whether to make that video or not, because, like, in theory, he'd be next in my villain analysis series, and I think there is a lot of interesting stuff to say about him, but at the same time, I know people aren't really into him, so
you'll get no views, dude. No, not to.
No, yeah.
But I just think that's the reality of it. But Fishman Island is definitely, I'd say, underrated.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it was adequately rated at the time it came out.
Exactly.
I was a weekly reader.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, it's weird because at the time it came out, I was a weekly reader and I was like just mad over the course of the arc. I was like, we waited so long for this time skip. Everyone was so excited. We all wanted to see all this stuff, and Oda's instead giving us Hordy Jones and his trash ass crew. I feel like people were rightfully mad when it was coming out, but over time, I think it gets a bad rep, and like you have to look at it in the grand scheme of things as
I would agree.
in between arc.
No,
In between arc,
I 100 agree.
really-
I think you do have to say that Fishman Island as an arc was not good, just because like it did like I feel like what Oda usually is so good at is that like arcs, even if they're woven into like a larger picture, they work individually. Like they still have to work as a standalone arc, and Fishman Island just didn't do that. But like as you said, like in the bigger context of the story, it's a great arc because it does set up a lot of things. It does. I feel like the entire racism thing is like such a strong part of One Piece and like such a central thing that has been very nicely foreshadowed and set up since the East Blue, basically since Arlong Park. So it was, I guess, for the moment, for the first time viewer or reader, it's a bit sad that Oda couldn't build more on all that work he had done before that on Sabaody, on Arlong Park, and so on and so forth. But yeah, in the entire, like in the larger context of the story, especially with the arcs that follow, it is a very good arc. Just I feel like as an individual thing, it doesn't work as nice as many of the other arcs do.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you for the most part. I'd say like if you hold it to the standard of a typical arc, like even something like obviously Enies Lobby, Alabasta, that type of stuff is unfair, but even something like Thriller Bark, like Fishman Island, the biggest thing, when I went back and reread that arc, I realized like the biggest thing is that there's not really much that happens on the Straw Hat side. Like there's not much of an adventure, there's not much of a plot for them. There's very, very little that actually happens with the Straw Hats.
Oda
just arrive on Fishman Island.
Yeah, he's basically trying to go that, oh, look how much they've grown route. But it's not very convincing. Like, like Hody Jones, like, I'm going to maybe for a second talk a bit about what I would say in that video that I'm probably not going to make. But, like, I think he is a great character because, like, he's a very tragic villain in many ways because, he is a real victim of that big problem of racism in the One Piece world, and like he could never become that threatening villain. Like that was part of his character. It was just very poorly expressed by Oda that like Oda wanted to show a villain who was actually not that strong, but was like basically suffering under the hatred he's experienced his entire life and the suppression and all the bad negative emotion he's built up. But at the same time, he also wanted to show how strong the Straw Hats have actually become. So like that kind of overshadowed that, I felt.
Yeah, like when you're getting just trashed.
Yeah,
it's harder to really feel that sort of threat or respect that.
So I feel people really misunderstood what Hody's character as a villain was all about, but I think it's not their fault. It was Oda's fault for like portraying it in that unlucky combination right after the time skip, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd just say that, okay, so like the way I view Fishman Island now is that it's an intermission arc. I respect the arc a lot more, and I think Oda did things really well if I view it as an intermission arc. Because if I view it as an intermission arc, then it's like, okay, we just finished Marineford, that's huge. We're about to go to the New World, that's going to be huge. So in between, we're going to get some exposition. We're going to get like a little taste of how strong the Straw Hats have gotten. And really the exposition is more important, like learning about the world, learning about what's to come, like Akainu has become this, Blackbeard's that, like Big Mom rules the island, and like this is the history of the world from the perspective of the fishermen and changing our view of the world. So in that context and getting the 2 flashbacks we did, I view it as a very solid intermission arc. So it's really good for that. And Hordy and his group, they weren't meant to be like memorable villains because they're meant to give us like a teaser of how good the Straw Hats are. But then, like you said, that also weakens, because Hordy's meant to be a more foddery sort of villain, it also weakens a little bit the sort of like impact that his racial history, like his history and everything like that, and what he's bringing to the table kind of entail.
I would agree.
Dude, and what's interesting is I'll just add this. I think Oda mentioned in an interview or something like that like he had initially planned for the Straw Hats to fight Jinbei. Like Jinbei was going to be an enemy. So I would bet that Fishman Island was planned to have been
Jinbei's
the
arc.
Jinbei arc, and like Jinbei's arc as a villain. But Oda had a better idea down the line, which was like, no, I think it would be more impactful if I took this villain that I'm building up, this Fishman villain, and actually showed that, you can show more by having that type of a character actually turn out to be a good guy and flip the reader's perspective on what they're expecting of the Fishman monster.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
That caused Fishman Island to then have a gaping hole in terms of the villains. He's like, here's Forty Jones,
I was super not aware of that Jinbei was supposed to be the villain.
That was a recent interview, very recent interview. He didn't say like villain of Fishman Island, but just like Jinbei was supposed to be
a villain. Okay, yeah. But then it makes like a lot of sense that would have been Fishman Island
that's
for
my
sure.
Guess.
Yeah,
I guess.
No, definitely. Wow, Pitch, that looks really fantastic. I like it. In case you're wondering, Pitch is drawing a very nice Brooke Halloween emote for the channel. So if you want access to that, you can become a channel member over. Wait, where is it? Here. There. But yeah, no, 100%. I would agree. And like, I feel there's like, for example, when I did my Caesar video, Punk Hazard is like another case. It's two in general very like such important arcs that set up so much, and like they have so many interesting concepts. And yet I feel like these two arcs in particular are probably two of the weakest in the entire story. Maybe taking out some smaller ones, just because like they both have different problems. Like we just talked about Fishman Island. I personally think, for example, Punk Hazard had a time issue. I think Oda tried to cram too many things into it with like Smoker and like Law and Kinemon. Like there was so many things set up, and then like basically like Caesar basically couldn't even contend as a real villain because Doflamingo went to the island himself and almost like fucked everything up if Aokiji hadn't been there. Plus, I feel like the entire crew spent too much time running around and like running through the island and like being chased by the gas thing and so on and so forth. I don't know. It had like a time issue in my opinion.
So I mean, for me, Punk Hazard, I enjoyed that a lot, but I understand why everybody else didn't like it, and not for some like deeper reason or something like that. I just enjoyed it for like the straightforward reason of just like. I think I've been, again, week-to-week reader, right? So I was just coming off of Fishman Island where I was like really waiting for like, I just wanted to see big stuff that we were waiting for.
Yeah.
So once Punk Hazard got rolling, I didn't, Caesar didn't really, I didn't like him as a villain much. The kids situation with the, gigantism and stuff like that didn't really hit with me. But stuff like seeing Law was a Shichibukai.
Right.
Smoker versus Law was a really, really, really exciting fight when it first came out.
That is true. That is true. I remember that.
Finding out this was the island with Akainu and Aokiji. Finding out that Doflamingo's the next villain. It was just like a lot of like, and seeing you remember Kid and stuff like that. We're watching through the Denden Mushis and stuff. So seeing lots of it just felt like we were finally in the new world. Like Fishman Island, I thought that was going to be the moment where everything becomes really big and we're in the new world and stuff like that. But it wasn't. It was so self-contained. So Punk Hazard, I just really enjoyed it from start to finish because for a week-to-week reader, it felt like, oh boy, we're finally actually getting to see some of the things that we've been waiting on seeing.
That's a really interesting point. I mean, I think I do agree with you. Like, there is a lot of, and I remember like being really hyped by it because there is so much hype stuff happening. I guess rather in retrospective, as an arc itself, similar to Fishman Island, I feel like it lacks this, like both of them just don't have very strong internal story arcs in my opinion, just because they're so much stacked with so much setup for the next stuff that's to come. Which I guess with Punk Hazard, like you can maybe count Fishman Island into the Yonko Saga thing, but like it definitely starts at Punk Hazard, and there does have to be a lot of initial setup, like Kinemon and Momo, like Doflamingo and Big Mom also being part of that, and so on and so forth. And there's a lot of stuff set up for Wano, obviously, in general as well. I just felt like if that arc had been a bit more crisp, especially the internal story with Caesar, like instead of the Straw Hats running around forever, if that had been like a bit shorter. And then that storyline would have been crisper, then I feel like it would have been even more enjoyable, because then you have like this very simple but like, crisp storyline with Caesar, and then like you can still have all the, impactful information dumps around it that made it so cool. But I see where you're coming from. I definitely understand why you would enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna argue with anything you said there. I think that's definitely right. And again, like I understand why people didn't like Punk Hazard, and I definitely understand why people don't like Fishman Island. And I'm still not gonna say I love Fishman Island. I just view it. I just put it into a separate category now, so I don't have as many issues with it anymore. Like I kind of just like a lot of the parts of it now.
No, it's
But,
way better now in retrospect. Like on reread, it's also a lot better in my opinion. And the
you
same.
know what to expect. Like I know nothing. The villains aren't going to be great. I know like they're not going to be exciting at least.
Yeah.
It's like I know it's just going to be. It is what it is.
It is like I think the true brilliance of Fishman Island is really the world building it does, and it's just and also as I said, I think Hody is a very creative and interesting villain. I just think that. I don't know, the timing wasn't, like, maybe it would have been smarter to switch Punk Hazard and Fishman Island. I know that, like, geographic-wise, that wouldn't have made sense, but, like, I feel like Hody Jones and, like, everything surrounding this racism thing it's a really great concept, and I think he was a good villain to, like, express the real problems with racism in the One Piece world. I just feel like since we all came out of the time skip and everyone wanted to see what the Straw Hats can do, and Oda wanted to show what the Straw Hats could do, like that was maybe the wrong timing for such a villain and such a storyline.
Yeah, that's basically where I would land.
Yeah,
on it too.
And I feel like it connects a bit. Oh, sorry, finish.
No, I have nothing to add.
Oh yeah, no, I just wanted to say, and I feel the same way about Thriller Bark, for example. Like I think like I enjoyed, to be like, just to make it clear, like I enjoy most chapters of One Piece, and like I enjoyed reading and watching all arcs of One Piece, but like obviously there's ones you like more and less, and like Thriller Bark was definitely like what I enjoyed Thriller Bark because One Piece is a great story, but I would say it's also one of the weaker arcs that only now in retrospect becomes really great because like so much stuff is that's been foreshadowed, we now see make a lot more sense on a reread. So I would say like that's similar to Fishman Island, for example, for me.
Yeah, you know what it is, maybe a little bit. I think like Oda knows lots of times. So like Enies Lobby was a very high octane arc, like really, really intense, very dramatic. One of the most epic arcs of the series. Marineford is right around the corner. You know, Subodi through Marineford, which is again really, really high octane, extremely intense, very dramatic. So in between, there needed to be something. I think a lot of what it might be is just that Oda, even for those sort of in-between arcs, he still does long arcs. Like, even if I say Fishman Island is like an intermission arc or something like that.
Yeah.
For Oda, that's a 50-chapter long arc. You know, like, because the story of One Piece is so big. One Piece is a really, really, it's like an epic story. It's more of an epic story than any other manga that's ongoing, you know? So for Oda, for sure. I guess like an in-between arc, like Thriller Bark or Fishman Island, those could still be really long arcs. Just not as long as his really, really long arcs. So it can be, you know, when you're reading an arc that's deliberately meant to be a bit of a cool down or not as hype as something before or after it, it can be frustrating during that experience, but then you can appreciate more. You appreciate it more coming back to it, I guess.
No, yeah, I do agree. And like, I do appreciate that like these arcs work so much better in retrospect, and like, you know, like once you go back to them, it's really like criticism on a high level, I would say, when you say they could have maybe also been a bit more spicy while they were fresh, I guess.
Yeah.
Nice. Is there anything else? Like, I mean, we can maybe wrap it up in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, sounds good.
Do you want to do some questions?
Something like that? Yeah.
Oh, anything? Yeah, anything you want to add, Pitch, on that topic?
Not really. Like, I did like Thriller Bark, but mostly because I laughed a lot. But it's not that.
It was a very
interesting
funny arc, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
like
true.
I only appreciate like the jokes on that arc. Like,
I did see the Luffy pushing the zombie back into the grave thing a bunch of times today, and that's just really funny.
That's one of the best moments in
in One Piece. Yeah. I do agree.
The jokes on Thriller Bark, there are many that are memes and others that are very, very funny that took me by surprise, and I do appreciate that from Thriller Bark.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. For example, Hawkbuck and Sindri-chan, in the anime, at least every time she went in front of the camera when he was talking.
Oh yeah,
breaking the fourth wall. those moments.
No, there was a lot of really good comedy in Thriller Bark for sure,
Yeah.
and like I mean Brooke was I do like Brooke, so like it was a cool
Yes, yeah.
introductory arc for him as well.
Yeah,
But
like
yeah,
don't.
it really like storytelling wise, it really lives off like the the Lola stuff, for instance, like
Hmm,
that was great in retrospect, great foreshadowing for Big Mom, and then obviously all the
yes.
Wano stuff with Ryuma and so on and so forth, and Moria versus Kaido and like what has happened
Yeah,
there.
like it's that arc was done for that. I guess that's also why he added so many jokes.
Probably,
Because
probably.
he knew the arc wouldn't work properly until people actually saw and knew what comes next.
Right.
But damn, the jokes just it's my style of comedy. Come on. Maybe not for everyone, but it's
No,
definitely my style.
I think
No,
it was
One
a
Piece
really
humor is
funny one.
great. One
I
Piece's
agree.
humor is like super universal.
Yeah, I mean I like the variety. There's like some very simple humor and then like some a bit more sophisticated quote unquote. So I like the variety there's in there.
Hmm.
Do you want to pick a question, Wirch, or
Yeah, sure. Um, shoot, is there thoughts on the third admiral? Anything on that? I don't know. That's not a really interesting question to me at the moment. It's
wait
just
on the
what I
third like
saw.
Green
No,
Bull
no offense
or
to you. No offense to the person who asked it.
I don't I like
Yeah, I'm talking about.
I'm quickly gonna answer. I don't think we're gonna see Green Bull in Wano. I think he's more whatever comes after Wano, Admiral villain.
Okay,
Okay, let me pick.
so yeah, you
Let's
pick. You
see.
pick.
Uh, uh, uh. Let's see. Let's see. What about the proto Straw Hat drawings? I thought there was a proto Jinbei in it, so I don't know why he would have been a villain.
No, a fishman was always planned
Yeah,
by Oda, but the idea of Jinbei being that fishman was not always in Oda's head.
that's how I would say it. One thing I think was interesting is that I think it's like this little guy, which is probably supposed to be Frankie. So I thought it was really hilarious that like it went from this small shipwright, who I think looks really similar to the guy that Frankie's working for in Wano. Do you know who I'm talking about? Like this little
Yeah,
small guy, right?
yeah. That dude. Oda just likes that design.
I think so. But yeah, I think
Poor
that was
Frankie.
Jinbei, and I think there was like still this guy who looks like X Drake a little bit. Um, I don't know. Like in my opinion, that might have been replaced by Robin, but who knows? Like I think it's interesting to know that Robin seems to have been more of a spontaneous decision, quote unquote, by Oda, which I think is funny.
Yeah, Robin, because Robin is, for many people, Robin's the. No, I guess most people don't view her that way now, but like, Robin was arguably like the most. No, I'm not even gonna say that. I was gonna say she was the best character in One Piece for a bit, but that's like a very subjective thing to say. But like, I think for a
I
lot
would
of people,
agree
she
to
was.
that.
Like,
I would agree to that.
a lot of people would feel like that, especially around any like any Slobby Robin. After that, she was like top 3 my favorite Straw Hats.
For sure.
But she's dropped since then just because she hasn't had as much to do, you know?
Yeah, pre-time skip Robin was definitely my favorite character. I would say has changed with the time skip. Now it's definitely more Zoro, but yeah, I still have high hopes that Robin will get back there, especially like I mean she does have to, like she will have to become super relevant again, and I hope that she gets
Yeah.
some of her old sass back, I guess.
Yeah. Dude, okay, one thing I'll say here, it's not on my channel, so I guess I'm free to complain. People say, like, what are they going to do? Unsubscribe? It's not my channel. So, like, I would comment occasionally in chapters that, like, I'm not the biggest fan of Robin's new humor. Not that, like, I don't find it funny in the moment, but I just don't like that, like, I just never felt like her character. I felt Oda had her character just about right at the end of pre-time skip, where no, she's not gloom and doom and like sad and mopey all the time. Not mopey, she was never mopey. You know what I mean? She wasn't serious all the time. She was more open, more unreserved, but she still felt like the same character. Now to me, it doesn't feel like the jokes that Oda's throwing in and stuff, it just feels out of character for her. And people always explain to me in the comments that like, Morj, you just don't understand Robin's character. You see, she changed after Enies Lobby, and then she changed over the time skip. I'm like, how fucking stupid do you think I am that I don't understand that Robin changed? I'm just saying I don't personally
did you
like...
get it?
I'm just saying I don't personally like you can get something why it's the way it is and not like it. And it's not like Oda had to write her like this, because I thought that the way that he was writing her at the end of pre-time skip was that perfect balance of still feeling like Robin and still feeling like that character that I really loved, but now also getting to see her evolved and more opened up and just generally more complete character. I really like that. Now it feels like he's flanderizing her in the other direction, where it doesn't feel like that old Robin, and he didn't have to do that. You know what I mean?
I 100% know what you mean. Yeah. No, I really know what you mean. I guess to like maybe summarize it a little bit, I also feel like, as you said, like the development like Robin took after Enies Lobby, and like that made sense because like that was in line with the character, and then what happened after the time skip just doesn't make sense and is not in line with the character, because I mean, what happened, right? Like Robin finally basically was able to let go and be herself and like trust someone again, but we already like that Robin was not like that. We've seen that Robin as a child, which is the same Robin we see after Enies Lobby, and that's not the Robin we see after the time skip. So that's one.
That's a good point. Yeah,
and then the second thing is what happens during the time skip. Like what happens is she goes to this prison island where she basically has to run away to not become a slave. She gets captured, and then she goes with the revolutionaries, who we're just gonna assume like is probably not gonna be like the most, 4-star girl hotel you can or 5-star girl hotel you can like land in. So like that was probably still like she was safe with the revolutionaries, but that was still like political, and like I don't exactly see how the revolutionaries are the environment where you suddenly turn into this super girly version and like soft version of her. Like in a way she was like I'm not sure if this is the right word here, but like kind of like whitewashed, if that makes sense.
Yes, I would agree. There's a word, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's called Flanderization.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like popular in America. Yeah.
Like the Simpsons character?
Like that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like the Simpsons character.
Oh, okay, because it's the only thing I could think of.
It is literally that. So, I mean, look it up. It'll make up a lot of, like, if you're in chat, you don't know what that is, just look it up and see if you think that applies to Robin. But, dude, like, one thing that did really bother me was, like, in Zoe, there was a scene, it was, like they were waiting on, like, the Straw Hat crew had arrived on Zoe, and they were waiting on Kinemon and Kanjuro to arrive, and they were, like, the Straw Hats were all partying, but Robin, Frankie, and Brooke, they were like, everybody else is partying, but we're the adults, so we have to go keep a careful watch to be sure we know when the samurai are going to come. I don't know if you remember that. It was really minor.
I do.
But they're like, yeah, we have to go watch, make sure that the samurai come, so we're the responsible adults, so we'll do that. And then, it shows all three of them fell asleep. Frankie, Brooke, and Robin fell asleep. And I get it. It's like a funny little gag, but that makes no sense for Robin's character.
It doesn't, yeah.
Like, even the Revolutionary Army, that's not a place that, like, it doesn't make sense if you're, like, if she...
It's not where you grow lazy, yeah.
Yeah. If she ended up on, like, Spa Island or something like that for the time skip, yeah. But no, it's just, like, a totally different character at this point.
Exactly.
Like, I like the fact that we had a character on the crew, like Robin, and who would not fall asleep in those sort of situations.
Exactly. Like, and you know what? Cool. Like, now that I think about it, it's even more of a shame, because in a way, the revolutionaries were such a perfect fit for her character, where she comes from as, like, being that deep into government secrets already, being the archaeologist, being the one who's probably most interested in politics, maybe if you take away Jinbei. So, like, it was a really great pick for Robin to go to during her time skip, and, like, you would but like, the character you would expect at the end is someone who is who's still very suspicious of everything, and still, like, is this very cautious and, like, smart and, like, scheming type of person, just that now she actually does it for her friends because, them she can trust. But with the revolutionaries, she, like, still, like, she might be smarter and, like, more, like, skillful at what she does, but, like, at no way should, be, like, being with the revolutionaries make her less sharp about, like, being in danger and how dangerous the world is. So
yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to end on something more positive?
I think we still have to read 3 super chats that we got. So we answer those
We'll
quickly.
be positive about those.
Yes. Consequences if Zoro kills Kaido. I think Morj and I quit YouTube. I'm just gonna say
Look,
it for
I'm not
you.
gonna go so far as that, because like I'm never gonna be. Look, if
No,
you
I'm
had
just
told me
kidding.
that, hey, if you had told me that the Going Merry starts talking, and develops a soul or something like that, 100 chapters in, I'd be like, yeah, this series is kind of gonna be dumb. So I'm never gonna say stuff like that, like before it happens. I need to see how it happens before I pass some sort of like opinion on it. But I'm just saying right now, I just don't think Zoro killing Kaido is happening, and I think it's just driven by like the most hardcore fan base in One Piece, which is the Zoro fan base. So
Right. I'm just gonna quickly sign off on that. I'm completely on board. If Oda can sell me that, I'm on board. I just don't see it. I don't see it making sense from a storytelling perspective. As I keep repeating myself, but like, if the main character of the story doesn't kill the main villain that has been set up for 5 arcs in a row, and since the time skip of the major saga, like, there has to be like better like have a good excuse for that. So but like I'm willing to be, like I love Zoro, so I'm willing to be convinced otherwise. I just don't see it happening. Next question by Jin Mori. Nice. I guess this is a reference to God of High School. Nice. Enjoyed that show. Nice to see Wano Report's back. Do you guys know if we're on break this week? We are on break this week, I can assure you. But I think like I'm definitely having a new video next week, and I'm just gonna assume, since Morj has been pushing out the content as well recently, that there will be a Morj video next week as well.
yeah, there will.
Nice. So there. And the last question for this Wano Report is by Krönen. I assume. Why do many people ignore that the Scabbards fought Kaido's crew 20 years ago in a 9 versus thousands and didn't lose when power scaling?
Oh, I can talk about this.
Yeah.
Oh, you go ahead.
No, go for it.
Well, one, they did lose. They factually lost. So that's something that happened. Like, the moment Odin went down, it was over for them. So keep that in mind. Second, it's not about the numbers. If you look at the panels that actually showed the calamities, right? The panels that showed the calamities, it showed that the Scabbards were, like, basically dwarfed by the calamities. Like, the calamities were a problem that the Scabbards were not shown to be capable of dealing with in that chapter. And lastly, like, Kaido's crew back then is not going to be the same as Kaido's crew right now. Like, at that time, he would have just had King and Queen, and it was only King and Queen that were shown. We don't know if he had the Tobi Roppo. They were not shown at that time. And we didn't, like, it was shown, I think, later on that he had, like, 1 number or something like that. That's pretty much it. So, yeah, the Scabbards lost. 2, they were shown to be outmatched by the calamities in the panels that the calamities were shown. That's about all I have to say. Yeah,
I'm just going to add on that. I do think people generally have been underestimating the samurai. I personally, yeah. I think it's like there's no inconsistency. I think you can argue why not show their true strength earlier. Fair enough. But like in terms of people complaining that the samurai can suddenly like fight and defend themselves, I feel like that's super in line with everything we've ever heard about Wano and like its strongest fighters. So I don't see an issue with that.
Dude, I think like Ashura, Doji, Inuarashi, and Nekomamushi, they were all shown to be like capable of going toe to toe with Jack. I don't think all the Scabbards are as strong as they are. Like I don't think Kawamatsu is as strong as them, or like Kiku or something like that. But like, and Kinemon, we've seen some. I don't know if that was a voice of complaint, but I just don't think we've been shown that they're all that strong. But they were all capable fighters, and that's all been stressed. And like some of them, like Ashura Doji,
right,
Nekomamushi, and they've been stressed to be very strong fighters. Like Denjiro, he held off Zoro like pretty comfortably in their one interaction. Like that's a big deal. So I don't think they're all that strong. Like I don't think they're all stronger than Zoro, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a few of them, at least before Zoro got Enma, were like as strong or stronger than Zoro, for example. So that's just something to keep in mind.
The real plot twist will be Kaido killing Zoro in the end. I see someone.
Yeah, you've heard of ZKK, but have you heard of
I saw someone.
KKB?
I saw someone in the chat. I think that was pretty hilarious. Gotta put out a theory video on this.
Kaido kills Zoro. Dude, sometimes I think I'm like, oh, on April Fool's this year, I'm definitely gonna do like a fun
Something
video.
fun.
So I'm looking for ideas.
That is a pretty good one. I like that one. Okay, I think this is a good point to slowly call it a day. I think you're done, Pitch, right? Also.
Yeah, I was already gonna crop it.
Perfect. You want to show what you did? Because I think it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, here we go.
That looks really good.
Nice.
This is the Brook emote, and yeah.
This is absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. If you want to use this emote, you can become a member of this channel and support my work, because I have to live off this channel now. So,
yep.
And you can also definitely make sure to check out Pitch on her. What do you prefer, Twitter or Instagram?
Oh, Twitter and Instagram. Both.
On Twitter,
it depends
and
on what
Instagram.
people use.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So make sure she's like a really underrated artist, really unbiased. She has like a super variety of like different styles she uses, but like fantastic artist. Definitely does not have enough followers on either platform for the work she does. Same goes for my best friend on the internet over there, Mr. Morj. Make sure that you follow him on Twitter and unsubscribe to his channel.
Wait, what? No, wait, what? Wait, what?
No, definitely make sure, if you haven't yet, definitely make sure to check out his channel. I guess, like, really for the couple of people who don't know him, he does also fantastic in-depth videos on One Piece, and it's probably, my favorite One Piece YouTube channel for sure. So can recommend. And otherwise, any last words from you two?
Rube. Don't forget Rube.
Oh, also shout out to Rube, of course, for the great waiting screen that we saw earlier. Also, I think his Twitter is also in the description below.
All right.
Any last words?
Nothing.
I'm done.
I see Galaxy writing sub to Morj because Ohara puts a lot of work into his second channel. You mean Arthur puts a lot of work into both of his.
No. Oh, if I started getting called Arthur, I'll be so upset.
Any last words from you, Pitch?
Brook emote is done. We will soon upload it, and then people can start using it for the next streams and so.
We will be doing that. Great. Otherwise, yeah. Oh, one more. That is a very late. That is a very last second donation. Okay, we're gonna make this quick. If Akainu told Kizaru not to go to Wano, that should have made everyone know that the samurai were very strong. I think you guys overvalued your own. I think you guys overvalued your own way you think the story should go.
No, I'm just gonna say this real quick. People go back in time and twist that. The reason Akainu said that was because the last samurai we saw from Wano was Odin, right? Like that's the reason. And before that, it was Ryuma who created that legend of samurai and Wano being really strong. So like. You can't take that quote from Akainu. Like, we know the context behind that quote. The context
I would still take it, though. Like, I still think...
I get it, but I'm saying, like, it's not as though Akainu, in my opinion, was talking about, like, oh, watch out for those scabbards. You know what I mean? Like, that's... Yeah. I think people are going back in time and turning that into something it's not.
Yeah, I think it's just easy. It's probably... I think it's probably very fair to say that, like, the average citizen of Wano is probably a lot stronger than like the average Marine, and that just like, you know, makes it a very hard fight probably for the Marines. So yeah, I would agree. Yeah, this is a good place, I guess, to end this stream. Make sure to subscribe to the channels, and otherwise, this will be uploaded on the Wano Report channel as well, so make sure to check that out as well. It's linked on my channel and not on Morj's because he doesn't care about our podcast.
Wait, what? I didn't know that you did this.
I did this. What? You're even linked on my channel.
Oh, are you linked on my channel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll link the Wano Reports as well.
Perfect. Sorry. No, just kidding, man. But yeah, so you can check that out.
You know, I don't keep that stuff that up.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm just. I don't really mind. So yeah, we will hope to make, especially towards the end of the year, we're definitely planning on picking up the Wano Reports slowly again. I think both of us were just or keep being busy, and like whenever we talk, we end up talking about a lot of other stuff. So, but we will get back to that. Oh, hey, hello there. Yeah. So.